Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Magician, and today I wanna talk. After reaching GOD 3 on King the day before yesterday, I don't feel like playing as much as I just wanna talk about Tekken right now. And the topic of today, as you've seen by the title, is the people who will never actually improve at Tekken. It's not actual people with names, it's not even types of people. It's just parts of us, of our thought, that we either accept or refuse to acknowledge. Now, without further ado, the first part of our thought that I want to talk about is the complainer. And as you've seen by the title, there is no better poster boy for the complainer than Lothier God himself. Because tell me, how is a man still stuck at blue ranks after 2 years, 2 whole years of playing Tekken 8? The man has been playing fighting games for longer than I've been alive. I'm pretty sure of that. So tell me, why is he struggling to become above average on a 2-year-old game? While, hear me out, this is the kicker on this part. While an actual blind person, I'm not talking like legally blind, like, you know, the type that can't get a driver's license and files for disability so they can get checks by the government. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual person who has lost one of their eyes. I don't know which one, I'm not sure of which one. And out of the other eye that they still have, they can barely see shapes and colors. And they got to Tekken God on Asuka, while Lothier God is still out here struggling in Bushin and Raijin with Fang and Victor, struggling to get above average. And this is what I want to talk about, because I feel like even unintentionally, by playing the game so much, you unintentionally become better at the game, you know? But no, because of his mentality of always like pushing the problem out, you know, by like saying the problem is with the opponent's character, how they play, how the game is designed, how Tekken 8 favors offense instead of movements, and how if it were Tekken 7 he would be winning, which of course he would not. But this is what complaining actually does to your brain. You do not improve one bit over 2 years. And it's crazy, because obviously they care about winning, they complain, they get frustrated. If you've actually seen someone play for enjoyment, like an actual Yoshi or a Kazuya player who try to do funny or fancy stuff respectively, like, you know, Yoshi with back-turned pogo or like bad breath or whatever, and Kazuya with his perfect electric and stuff, when those types of people lose, when you see them lose rounds or games, the most they will do is they'll go, oh man, bummer, you know, and the next round or the next game they're going back to their usual self with trying to like cheese the opponents with back-turned pogo or trying to get their perfect electric. But no, with actual people who care about winning, you actually see them getting frustrated, and Lothier God is one of them. So this is what complaining and always pushing the problem out. It's not my fault I'm not winning, it's the game that's like this. It's the opponent's character that enables them to win like this, while you're still stuck at the same place since the start of the game. It's something else, man. So, you know, don't complain. Actually, like, face yourself. Tell yourself that maybe the problem is yourself. Maybe you're not labbing. Maybe you're not trying new tech, maybe you're not learning the game properly. Don't always blame the problem on anything else but yourself. The second way of thinking that I want to talk about is the way of thinking of the elitist. And in my opinion, this is even more dangerous than the complainer, because the elitist actually revels in that way of thinking. They rationalize their losses by going, oh man, I'm so mad I lost because my opponent plays a scrubby character, but oof, thank God I play the execution heavy characters that demand a lot of knowledge about the game and its mechanics and stuff. And then you go see their replays and they're playing Kazuya, and in neutral, like without any pressure on them, they do 3 straight down jabs, all electric misinputs, 3 straight down jabs. And then when the opponent goes like, oh man, this guy is stupid, I better go in, they get another misinput, a fourth misinput, but this time it's a down forward 2 instead of a down jab or an electric, and they get their launch, and like they get their combo, and at the end of it they go, oof, man, another good day of hard work with Kazuya, the character that demands a lot of effort to master him. And you're like, bro, just give it up. Like, the level at which you play and how you play the character is completely irrelevant to that at which like execution becomes like even a smidge relevant to the gameplay. And as I said, this type is even more difficult because how can you convince someone who is happy with what they do that what they're doing is not, well, not right. I wouldn't say it's right or wrong, it's just false. You're giving yourself the ego gratification of someone like Ikari or Keisuke while you're out here doing down jabs and down forward 2s when you should have been doing perfect electrics. Like, what are you doing with your life? This is not how Tekken is played. And so, like, I'm lost actually on how to convince these people to see how the game is not what they think it is. But, you know, all in all, maybe not all of them are meant to be convinced. Maybe only the type that get frustrated, that get more frustrated, just like the complainer about the opponent's character and playstyle. Those are the types who can convince. But otherwise, I think those guys are a lost cause. If you're one of them, please, it's never too late to actually get a new view on this game. You are not at that level at which you can start gratifying yourself over the character you play, okay? Yeah. And the last way of thinking that I want to talk about is the wet wipe, the scared players, people who are actually afraid of things inside the game. Example, people who do one and doneers. You know, they play one game, they win, and then they go away. And when you ask them why, they go, the matchup wasn't enjoyable. I wasn't enjoying the playing against this guy. Okay, but then why did you key charge and teabag? It's because you actually got that one, even though you weren't sure you were gonna win, and you didn't want to risk losing that second and or third game. That's why you went away, not because it wasn't enjoyable. If you were sure you were gonna win, you were gonna stay the whole 2 games. And actually, you know, it's not really something bad. Like, if we look at it objectively, no one is entitled to a rematch, and you can't force someone to stay for the whole 2 games. But do you have any actual idea how much you're limiting yourself in terms of learning and experience at the game? If you keep doing one and dones and stuff like that, you're going to become such an imbalanced player who can do a few things really good, but some other things you can be terrible at, and it becomes so much more obvious and like if you play against them. So the solution to that is very simple. Just play the whole set and face the game as it is. Don't run away from adversity, because when you do that, you run away from learning opportunities and stuff. Another type of wet wipe that I want to talk about is the people who are afraid of losing their ranks. And you see them quite a bit, people who feel like they got their rank by luck, and so they don't want to lose it, and they stick to player match or group match or lobbies or whatever. To those, like, it's difficult to get them to play rank, because of course they will deny it. They go like, oh, I just want to play quick match because it's a more enjoyable experience. And to that, there is no like actual rebuttal to it. They just have to be honest with themselves and learn actually that ranked is a more beneficial learning experience than quick match, because then stakes are at play. You actually lose something if you lose a ranked match, and so avoiding it is really doing you a disservice, and you should like really engage with it. And you see, what I just talked about in this video, it's not like actual types of player, it is parts of our thinking, like in every single one of us. For example, even Main Man has a little low tier gun inside his head. You know, there's this part of him that wants to complain and blame his losses on external factors, even though, like, in a lot of those situations he could have done something about it. And it's interesting to see how different people with different backgrounds react differently to the game, and how much of it they choose to blame on themselves. And now you ask yourself, if I refuse to make any other excuses, what should I do then about the game? And my answer is just become a student of the game. In each and every single interaction, ask yourself, could I have done this better? Could I have done that better? And in the grand scope, this way of thinking has helped me a lot. It might be a bit cringe, but I still stand by it. If something like, if I get really tilted with the game, I ask myself, would me have lost to this? Would blank have lost to this? You know, would your favorite player have lost to this? And the answer is obviously no. 99.999% of the time it would be no. There are actual better players. This is not all luck or, like, you know, character based. Oh, my opponent plays Anna, they're gonna win 100% of the time. No, there is actually a lot of it that lies in our hands that we can change. And in before, like, I hear some excuses about there are no players who play my character in my region. There is no Azucena player in the EU, Evil 46. There is no Raven in the EU, you know, never hear of them. Shadow and Jacob Cass, both really good Raven players. I could go down the list of characters. Oh, there is no Lee players in the EU. Each and every session I play in ranked, there are at least three to four Lees on UD2 plus, ready to whoop my ass. You have no excuse. Not your character, not your disability, not your time. Knee is pushing 40, I believe. You have no excuse whatsoever to not get better at this game. Not with the character, not with the opponent's character, not with the game itself and its mechanics. You have no excuse whatsoever. And another excuse I hear is, oh no, Tekken is a legacy knowledge game. I can't be expected to go against these players who have been playing the game for like years and go against them. And to this I go, no, absolutely not. There are people who have been playing Tekken for a fraction of the time I have. I've been playing Tekken since T5. Actually, I've been learning the game since Tag 2 and being somewhat competitive in Tekken 8. And there are people who have been playing Tekken for a fraction of the time, actually since like Tekken 7 Season 3 or 4. And sometimes they're better than me, like Elias, the guy from Europe, or around the same level as me, like Lucas. So legacy knowledge has nothing, it's not all that. We Tekken players like to make a big deal out of it, like, oh no, you have to actually know what happens in this situation, this situation, this situation. It's not that important. Like, you can get most of it within like 6 months, and I'm not exaggerating here. 6 months to a year max, and you can be as knowledgeable about the game as someone who has been playing Tekken for a long time but didn't like get actually into it, you know? So yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and tell me if you see yourself in one of these ways of thinking, because I know I'm a bit of a complainer, but thanks to that like reasoning logic thingy where I go, would blank, as in top player, would they have lost to this? And I go, of course not. Of course they wouldn't have lost to what I'm losing to right now. I just like lock in and try to get better at the game. So tell me if like you see yourself in one of these ways of thinking. And yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.